It's finding your own place. You can be the bad guy, you can be the good guy.
There's the latex swords, there's all the classic LARP things.
Either teams against NPCs, teams against teams, and you just play out a particular quest that you've been given.
And then you go up and there's a bit of like talky talk, and then normally it's a bit of slashy slash as well. And so you get into your fights, and I guess one of the key things about Mesaea LARP Club is that there's also some magic involved. Mostly it's things that you can act, so you've got spells that push people over, or spells that control the mind.
In short, it's a bunch of crazy guys who like to run around and belt each other up. No. Well, it's a group of friends, like guys and girls, not just guys. But it is. It started off as a few schoolmates who found some steel swords in the back room, started hitting each other with it. But now it's strangers who've become friends. People who, we play out stories together, we live through the emotions, we help each other out. Yeah, the Mesaea LARP Club is a support group. It's the people who help celebrate your triumphs and are there for when you lose.
But just because of the way the story worked, it was that always the characters would influence the story. It means that, at the end of the year, when the season's all wrapped up, the players can sit around and they can be like, do you remember when my character did this or that? And not only that, but it will be inside the story and carried through to the next year, to the next season.
You can be a part of history, you can, be this well-known person, and then you can have another character can idolize that person that you've created. You can do whatever you want. It's your character, you get to do what you want to do.
There's different types of characters that people in the Mesaea LARP Club can play. So when players go to a day, they can come with their own character that they've set up either at the start of the year or sometime later on that they have ownership over. They guide its story. Normally, they have to get their backstory sort of checked out or whatever, but as long as it's compatible with the world, then they have control over that character and they take it through the whole year.
When you first come to the LARP, you'll come across that we have a few different types of classes. The knights, they're a lot more meant to be a defensive, sort of noble type of character, so they carry a shield, a lot of time a longsword, and they have a lot of health bonuses compared to the other classes. Moves to the barbarian, a lot more into the I want to get in there, fight, slay. They carry a bonus where if they're screaming and really into their fighting, that they're doing double damage. Or the rogues, where they're initially more of a stealthy sort of character, and they're usually carrying a dagger, short swords, and clerics, where they're a lot more aligned to their gods, so they're quite low on health compared to some of the other classes, but they do have quite an influence, being having their incantations.
So, of course, first you start with, just your basic weapons. You have a sword or maybe a staff, and that'll be like your level 1 character. And then as you level up, you get, you can use different swords, or you can use magic now, so you can go like push people out back with a stagger, or maybe make them paralyzed. And then you've got a knife and you'll slit their throat, so they're instantly dead.
It's kind of Dungeons and Dragons mixed with beating the crap out of your friends. But once you go past there, it's going into another world.
Players influence the story. You have a character in one season, and the actions that they perform and the things that they do will carry on throughout the history of the realm. And that's most clear in the case of Alex's characters, the Grifone line.
So this character was nothing special. I hadn't really thought about it, but pretty much he was this gardener who worshipped his...
He was a gardener, he's like, oh, my backstory is I come from a family of gardeners and we like picking plants and things like that. And I'm like, all right, whatever, mate.
And then he got his hands on this god artifact, the short sword of light, and he pretty much went to the king and he goes, hey, I have this cool sword, you know, make me a noble. And it's like, oh yeah, cool.
And so, because by season 2, that was what we were really aiming for, you know, everyone, you make a character and you can become the king. So that was sort of, you know, us showing what was possible. And so all the players looked at that and they're like, you know, we can change this world. You know, we can become kings, we can do whatever we want. And so that meant that all the season 2 people have stayed with us pretty much from then on. And more people come. At the start of the year, we have sort of open days where we do like learn how it works. You know, there's sort of teachers in Realm that teach combat and different like magical abilities and things like that. And so that helps to make people feel more confident to come in. But you know, everyone in the club is just so friendly, and like a lot of them, you know, it's not like there's all these places in the world where they feel welcome. It's not like all these places in the world where they feel like they can, you know, have an impact and actually, you know, be a part of something really cool.
I'll never forget the first day I went to LARP. So me and my friend were both looking, like, because we heard about it and we were both looking, trying to find out where the location is. And so we're standing on top of the hill over at the Botanic Gardens, and then all of a sudden we see them and we're like, oh yeah, cool. We walk down, straight away they're like, travellers, welcome. And I'm like, oh yeah, right, don't tell us nothing, just throw us in the deep end. That was the best thing.
It was the best thing I've ever done. The smartest and stupidest idea that I've ever had that worked.
I think the better question would be, what don't I enjoy about LARP?
Brings a lot of joy to people, has brought a lot of fun and good times together, brought people together you probably wouldn't have met otherwise.
We're one big happy family. We have our arguments every now and again, but what family doesn't? And at the end of the day, we all come here to have fun, we all enjoy ourselves, we all leave with a happy smile. I'm like, yeah, we're really open and accepting, so it doesn't matter what you are, really.